Good evening. Welcome back, YouTube. I am Dr. Robyn, your sleep health coach and clinical pharmacist. And while we're waiting for a few people to come on live, we are going to send out a few notifications. Hope everyone's doing good. It's been a long week. Hopefully everyone's doing good. It is Friday night. Hopefully you're starting to wind down and enjoy some personal time to really recenter yourself after a good week that is going on. So we'll send out on YouTube here. And let's see. We'll also do Instagram. And be sure to ask me any questions you may have as well as we go ahead and get started. Tonight, I want to talk about something that I don't talk about a lot when we're talking about getting great sleep, but we're going to talk about tonight is the sleep thief. And what that is and how you can stop it and what that all means for you tonight. So definitely, we're gonna go ahead. I see some people starting to hop onto the live. Be sure to hop on. Let me know where in the world you are coming from. I always like to know where people are definitely coming from. We had some people last time. I think we had India, Dubai, definitely here in America. We had some people in the UK, so it's great that everyone is really learning how to adapt, get the best sleep possible, and see some of the likes coming in. Some of the people starting to hop on the live now, so thank you so much. So we're gonna go and definitely give some talking about it. Thank you so much for those likes and lives. And we'll go ahead. Okay, I think I sent out enough notifications for now. So I really want to talk about the sleep thief and what I believe that to be. And that is actually our bedrooms themselves. And we're going to go into about 9 hidden issues with our bedrooms and what we can do about them so that we can really get a great night's sleep and wake up ready to take on our world. So if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel here at SleepWell RX. Hi, I see some people popping on the live. Hi, what's going on? We are talking about what's robbing you of getting a great night's sleep. Hi, Cassandra's popped on, Moslick popped on, Malia's popped on this live. Definitely, thank you. One of the first things I want to talk about is really the condition of our bedrooms, okay? Our bedrooms, and I know I'm guilty of this, so I'm preaching to the choir right now myself. And we are looking at, are we sleeping with a lot of stuff in our beds, electronics? Do we have laptops in our bed? We know that the Wi-Fi is really interrupting a lot of our sleeps. Thank you all so much for the likes. Be sure to subscribe to our channels. Someone said, definitely, yeah, we can have toys from our kids when our kids are coming into our bed. Our rooms should really be a sacred spot and a oasis for us to get a great night's sleep, okay? So getting laptops out of the bed, our tablets, not only are they causing just clutter, so that in the bed, kids' toys and all this stuff, we're causing electronic clutter to ourselves. A lot of these are tethered to Wi-Fi, right? So we know our laptops, all that stuff is really, we're not really using, the hardcore internet. Someone said something. Someone said, get our spouses out of the bed. I won't go that far. I will say this though, if you have a spouse that is snoring so heavily that you can't sleep, that may be something that you can consider, but I don't want to be someone that's disrupting marriages or anything. That's funny. Definitely. So we're going to definitely look into that. Thank you all for the likes. Be sure to subscribe to our channel as we go ahead and take that deep dive in. So again, we want to I want to talk about the electronic pollution. There are people who will actually turn their Wi-Fi off at night so that they can get a good night's sleep. Now, I have run into clients, they have a cell phone charging by their head. Please do not charge your cell phone directly by your head at night. Okay, you are absorbing so much of that radiation that's coming through, making it difficult for you to get a good night's sleep. Put the cell phone as far away from your head as possible. You can put it down there by the foot of your bed, but get it away from your head. Okay, so the electronic clutter is really, really what I want to focus on for the first type of clutter we're working on. You're going to also want to get rid of, if you are a person that needs television to go to sleep, I want you to set a timer for that. So if you need, say, I need a little bit of electronic television, a little bit of electronic babysitter to help me to get that good night's sleep, that's okay. I just got to learn. Oh, that's awesome. Wonderful. Someone said as a child. Yeah, having kids in our bed. Now, I know there are certain types of parenting where there's attachment parenting, but kids need to learn how to self-soothe themselves in order to get a good night's sleep. That's along with learning how to walk. That's along with learning how to read and ride their bike. This is a skill that they need to have. So I always encouraging people, especially people who are having issues with insomnia, learn how to walk those kids back to their bedroom. They are causing clutter in your house, specifically in that bedroom. Okay. So let's see. If you have any questions, be sure to put those questions down. We're going to go ahead and keep going. Setting a nighttime timer to kind of remove the clutter out of the bed and just kind of consolidating it in the bedroom. That's super, super important. Your brain cannot function as well. And we know sleep is a big, big part of our mental health. We will have a worsening mental health if we cannot remove that clutter, which is just causing our brains to be cluttered, which will there cause us to have bad sleep. It'll be a literal sleep thief. That's the topic of our tonight's, definitely what we're going over tonight. So be sure if you can relate to this. I see some people coming on, a gamer's coming on, or a gamer. And our goal tonight is to definitely, really, definitely be sure to subscribe to our channel. If you are new here and you say, I want to wake up to really take on my day, to be in charge of my day, to feel healthy, vibrant, and ready to be productive and take on the world. So that is definitely something. And someone says, yes, that's a great affirmation, knowing that will happen. Absolutely, absolutely. So we're looking at clearing anything that isn't for sleep time, okay? Or if you have a partner, if it isn't for intimate time, you want to clear those off of the bed and clear those around from the particular area. You want to use a basket, get a basket and grab everything, put it in there. You can address that in the morning so that you are sleeping in a soothing, calm environment that is not full of clutter. Your brain and body will thank you. So that's the first sleep thief we're going to talk about. The second one we're going to talk about tonight is we're going to call it tonight, the blue light bully. So I'm going to see if anybody has any questions. Be sure to tell me where you are in the world, where you are actually watching from right now. Last time I said we had people from India tapping in, all over the planet tapping in at different places. So be sure to let us know where you are watching from. Okay, great. I see the UK is in there. Great, great. So some of the information we wanted to go in, we talked about is the blue lights, and not just the blue lights. Like right now, I am using one of these, particular lights for social media to, film my video. It is very, very bright. So my goal is to go to bed tonight at 10 o'clock. So about 9 o'clock, I'm going to be shutting down. Oh, someone says they're from Texas. Nice, nice. I have family down in Texas. That's awesome. So we're going to be shutting down, all of this blue light exposure. So this is coming off of the electronic issue again, your cell phone, your tablet, your laptop, all of these, your LED lights, just the bright lighting in general is stopping your body from actually producing melatonin. Melatonin super, super important. It's our major, major hormone that we need to help us to get to sleep. So number two, we want to talk about, once again, is the blue light bully. We want to have warmer lights, just soothing lights. We want to have soft, what they call ambient lights, and not these really bright, blaring lights. At about 9 o'clock, which is about an hour before I'm going to go to sleep tonight, I'm going to definitely turn all the lights down. So we just have like small lamps on in the home. So we don't have all of this bright light keeping us awake and actually preventing us from producing our evening melatonin. Some other ways to really block out lighting: if you get a lot of street lights in, you may want to consider, using those blackout curtains or even blackout shades. You can get those from a local hardware store like Lowe's, Home Depot, some places like that. Super, super helpful. And there are some actual smart bulbs that will actually do a gentle fade during the evening, so that you aren't, you don't have to really remember this. They will actually calmly, fade out. Thank you all for the likes. I see the likes coming in. I really appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe as well. Turn on your notifications. I go live here a lot, so I can help you to really improve your sleep health. A lot of people who come to me have also stress-induced insomnia. I know I've faced that myself. That's why I really started this, to really help other people get over that. So really looking into that. So the first thing we talked about was clutter. The second thing we talked about was the blue light bully. Start having a cutoff time for your blue light, about an hour or so. Like I said, right now I have these bright lights on. I have the ring light on, bright overhead lights on. I need to definitely an hour before bed, so about 9 p.m. here. So in about a little over an hour from now, I'll be shutting all of this down. So I plan to be on here a little bit while longer. But yeah, then I'll be getting off to really calm down and soothe my nervous system for a good night's sleep. The next one I wanted to talk about is a coloring of your bedroom. This could be another thief. What are the colors of your bedroom? I had a client not too long ago who had actually a beautiful bedroom, but she had this beautiful, gorgeous highlight wall that was a bright, hot pink that was very excitatory and hard for her to sleep. So we want to keep that in mind when we have, different colors for our bedroom. Do we have soothing colors? One good reminder is to keep in mind, different colors of the human complexion. So, we know the human complexion ranges from, a fairer complexion to more deeper tan complexion, all the colors in between. Those colors actually help us to get a good night's sleep. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. No bright, ness in your bedroom. You can have an accent piece here and there, but a bright wall is an absolute no. You need to have really toned down, neutral, natural colors that are calming and soothing to help you to get a good night's sleep. When you're thinking of different paint finishes, you don't want those really shiny, paint finishes. You want a matte finish. So that's, once again, it's also another calming, soothing way for sleep. Also you want to look at, if you say, I really want a little bit of extra color, it can be using like pale blues, not really a stark, a navy or, a really electric blue, but pale blues can be helpful. Pale grays, greens, even like a pale lavender. Those can also be really found to actually calm and soothe the nervous system for the colors. Your colors that you sleep in can be very much affected as well. So you want to sleep in calming, soothing colors for a good night's sleep. Okay. Definitely. Thank you so much, Tora. I appreciate it. Be sure to put down any questions you may have, because tonight we're talking about the sleep thief. And the thief is your bedroom. What's going on in your bedroom? Is there too much clutter in your bedroom? We talked about that first. Is the lighting off? Do you not have a dim lighting? You should have lamps. A lot of our bedrooms will have overhead lighting, which is fine for the daytime. But in the evening, we need dimming lamps and not that bright LED lights, okay? The colors of our bedroom, the colors we choose to sleep in, are they natural, calming, soothing colors? The neutrals are the best. Those are some of the best recommendations. But if you want a little bit more color, if it's, pale blues, some pale lavenders, no bright fluorescent blues or bright fluorescent purples either. So that's really what you want to keep in mind. I'm seeing it again. Yes, Taurus says yes again, definitely. You see other questions. Okay, great. Put your questions down here. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel here. We're going to go ahead and keep going. What about the temperature of your bedroom? We've talked about that a lot too. Keeping that bedroom temperature from anywhere from 60 to 70, 60 to about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Now 70, you can go up to 73 if you're, like where you live somewhere that's really cold. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, we can get crazy, crazy cold in the winter. So that's something you definitely want to keep in mind. So I'm going ahead, keep on going here. Be sure, I'm trying to see if there's any questions. Hi, Bella, I see somebody else coming in. Bella, welcome to our channel. So we went over removing the clutter, what type of lighting we should have in our bedroom for a good night's sleep, the color, the temperature. Definitely, we need lower temperatures in order for us to start to get to sleep. A lot of people don't know that. So once again, we talked about 60 to about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Some people want a little bit lower to about 67 degrees. That's fine. And using cooling sheets. They have so many cooling sheets on the market. And we're going to talk about bedding next. That'll be the next thing we talk about. And one of the cooling sheets, and I'm going to experiment with this myself. I was recommended by a colleague to try 100% pure linen sheets that can actually be very, very cooling. So if we naturally wake up in the middle of the night, and a lot of times that's a body temperature regulation issue that needs to be done for us to get back to sleep. It's normal to wake up in the middle of the night, say about, usually no more than once or twice a night, but you should be able to get back to sleep pretty quickly. Insomnia is actually defined as an issue where you have issues going to sleep and issues where you can't stay asleep. If you find yourself waking in the middle of the night, it can be okay if you can get back to sleep in about 30 minutes or less. If not, there may be an issue for insomnia. Definitely stay here and subscribe to our channel so we can definitely help you through that. We're looking definitely to do a deep dive and go even deeper into that. And tonight we're covering, your bedroom as to how that's going to work out for you in terms of really regulating that color, the clutter in the bed itself. Once again, I'm preaching to myself. I have to take books out. I like to have books and stuff. Take those out. When our son was little, he would come in our room. We would have to take toys out the bed. So getting all of that stuff out so that you have a peaceful, calm place for a great, great night's sleep. So I wanted to talk about next is the actual bedding itself. Really look into the fabrics and the quality of your bedding. If you're sleeping on polyester, acetate, all of these fake bedding materials that you are actually absorbing, toxic plastics into your skin, which could potentially make you more sick. Not only just keep you awake at night with insomnia, but your skin isn't going to be able to, really breathe well through this, and you're actually really absorbing. We absorb a lot of what goes onto our clothes. So if there's a lot of polyester bedding and sheets, and sometimes it can be hard to find all natural sheets, but you want to look for like 100% organic cotton is best. If it's not, organic cotton, 100% cotton, 100% linen, 100% silk. Someone had a good question. What about bamboo? Now, some bamboos have been found to be really highly processed in order to turn them into fabric. So that's something you want to definitely check into and research. It is not as natural as it claims to be. They use a lot of chemicals to process the bamboo. So that's a really, really good question. Thank you. So we're going to go ahead, keep on going, really talking about, having layers on your bed as well. Having just one heavy blanket, you could overheat at night, throw that off, and then you get cold. But having your sheet layers, having a lighter blanket, then a heavier one, so that you can definitely, if you throw something out, you still have that covering on. You want to have as much as possible organic, natural fibers touching you, so that you're not really absorbing any of those bad chemicals, and that your skin can breathe throughout the night. This also counts for the different bed clothing that you may be wearing. Please read your labels. I know I've always talked about reading labels on food. You need to read the labels on your actual bed clothing, okay? Making sure that it's as much as percent as 100% cotton as possible, 100% linen, 100% silks. You want all natural bedding and bed clothing. So that could be another thief as to why you're experiencing bad sleep at night. The next one we're going to talk about is definitely looking at the furniture layout in terms of, our quality of furniture. And I've practiced maybe about 3 or 4 years now, classical feng shui, where there's certain things they have taught us to stay away from when it comes to getting a good night's sleep. One of the things is having a mirror directly facing your bed. Can actually really cause you to be startled in the middle of the night, because you can wake up and not realize that's you that you see in the middle of the night. Any reflective surface definitely should be avoided that's facing the bed, so that you aren't having the startling that's occurring. You also want to have your headboard against a solid wall and not just out there floating. It makes you feel to be a more solid person that's safe and secure for a good night's sleep. You also want to avoid, really having, a ceiling fan directly over the bed. That's too much air. Avoiding, looking at some other furniture issues in terms of plants. Now, silk plants can be okay, but artificial plants actually can definitely compete with you for your life force at night. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but in the classical feng shui, they believe, artificial plants are beautiful for other parts of your home. But in your bedroom, they are competing for your life force. So you should move them to other places. So definitely keep that in mind. Watch having a fan directly over you. That is too much, really air over you, and can cause you to have, issues during the night. Also, I like to encourage people, if you live in an area that has a lot of pollution, using an air purifier. There's some really affordable one now that you can actually just plug directly into your wall, and this will purify the air during the nighttime, so that you aren't really breathing in any of the pollution, and this could be causing issues with insomnia. So definitely looking into that. And our next one we're going to talk about is sounds and scents. Okay, so here on YouTube, there's some really good sounds that you can use to help you to go to, really get a good night's sleep. You don't have to attempt to go to sleep in complete silence if you're not comfortable with that. If you're a person that does prefer complete silence, you can use earplugs to help you to get a good night's sleep, or turn down, once again, if you need to have your television on, if you need to have, a particular track playing. Having a timer to set off when that should go off is a really good idea, so that it's not playing, nonstop all night, but it helps you to really begin a good night's sleep, to get a good night's sleep. Your scents. I definitely, we have some great aromatherapy scents. We have our organic lavender, and we have that at sleepwellrx.com. Definitely be sure to visit us there. Check out some of the things we have there to really assist you to naturally get a good night's sleep. Again, some people will go to their doctor, get a pill to get to sleep. And I think the pills are really good for short-term issues that you have, but long-term issues, they don't really cover, what's really going on at the root cause of your sleep issues. So definitely using that air purifier to help purify the air, or help it smell fresher. it would also be beneficial to use aromatherapy scents to help you to get a great night's sleep. Again, we have the lavender at sleepwellrx.com. And I see some questions. What are some other scents? Chamomile's another scent. Vetiver's another scent. Passion flower. There are a lot of good scents to really help, again, to soothe and calm the nervous system for a wonderful, wonderful night's sleep. Yeah. So we're going to go and do a brief recap. I think we touched most of what we need to definitely look into. Definitely decreasing the clutter in our bedroom. The lighting, making sure the lighting is calm and nice. Adjusting anything with the color. If we need to paint over a wall that's hot pink or something like that, definitely looking for more neutral colors for our wall and also to sleep in as well. Adjusting the temperature. We need to adjust that thermostat every night before we go to sleep, turning it down because our bodies actually need those colder temperatures to get sleep. Looking at the furniture layout, in terms of, we shouldn't have that fan directly over our bed, but it can be nearby to definitely keep that cool and that airflow going. Looking to have our headboards against a solid wall makes us a solid, steady person and feel secure and boundaries. In fact, I've known some parents who've had young adults who they've wanted them to move out the house. They will start moving that bed away from the solid wall. All of a sudden, they don't feel so secure. They don't feel that their boundaries are so tight, and that they want to move out after they feel that. So that's a really good tip. If you are a parent and you're ready for the kids to, to fly on their own, move their beds away from the wall. That will help them to, that kind of floating out. They don't sleep as well and they don't feel as secure, and they will be looking for their own space. But those of us who have our own space already, we really should have our headboard solid, anchored against the wall. Again, we talked about, have really avoid that mirror. And this is from my classical feng shui. Hi, I see someone coming on new. Definitely be sure to subscribe to our channel. And in Santu Anat. And tell me where in the world you are watching from, because you just told me good morning. It's almost night here. So you're definitely overseas somewhere. That's wonderful, wonderful. And we're here in the U.S. in America, in the Northern Hemisphere here. And yeah, definitely. So, okay, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, so it's definitely good morning for some of you all. So that's great. And so I think we've covered most of what I wanted to talk about tonight. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We started off with talking about like really getting the electronics out of our bed. And that's something really super and good to definitely take advantage of. I'll see if there's any other things that we can look at. Let's see. Okay, people are definitely some more people from India. Good to see you. Good to have you on. Great. And let's see, is there anything else? I definitely be sure to visit SleepWell RX, where we help you to get the most amazing sleep, where we have great all-natural sleep products. Right now, we're featuring our organic lavender sleep spray. You can definitely get that there. And we're going to see if there's any other questions coming on. So we talked about, and thank you for the likes. I see the likes popping up. We talked about tonight a sleep thief. What is robbing us from our sleep? Many times about, definitely. Someone asked about, Wavy Axe said, thank you. Welcome to the channel. Be sure to subscribe. How about massaging self before bedtime for increased blood flow? That is a really great recommendation. And using different massage creams and products, added bonus if they have, the aromatherapy in it. Using those is a great idea because it helps to release a lot of tension. A lot of times, the people who come to me have issues sleeping because they're tense, they have a lot of stress, and that will definitely help to melt some of that away. So that's a great question. Thank you for that question. I'm gonna see if there's any other questions here. So I'm going to get off in a few minutes. I have to practice what I preach. I need to begin my own bedtime routine and start getting a great night's sleep for myself. I think I'm seeing any other questions. I don't think I see any other questions. Thank you. So thank you for all the likes right now. Once again, I'll just do a brief recap. We talked about the things that are stealing our sleep at night and really looking at the bedroom. We're focused on that tonight. So the things in the bedroom, is it too much clutter in the bedroom? Too many books in the bed, or your laptop? The electronics. A lot of people nowadays are shutting off their Wi-Fi at night because they're finding that all of the radiation from their Wi-Fi is causing insomnia. So definitely experiment and see if that is something you should do. You should not have the Wi-Fi box, if you can avoid it, by your head at nighttime. Don't charge your phone by your head at nighttime. You should have those as far away as possible. We looked at colors in the room. We looked at the type of fabrics you should be wearing at night. All natural, preferably organic fabrics such as organic cotton, organic linen, all natural silks. Looking at these fabrics will help you to actually help your skin to breathe well at night, and avoiding, the polyester and the acetates and, the acrylics. Avoiding those particular fibers will actually prevent you from absorbing all of the toxins, and all the plastics that are in the all natural, and the non-natural fibers I meant. So great. So thank you all so much for joining me tonight. This has been wonderful, wonderful. Be sure to visit sleepwellrx.com, and I'll see you next time. Have a great night. Bye-bye.